Here is your full American English translation, keeping the original structure, tone, and seamless flow exactly as you requested. John, 68 years old, living in Phoenix, Arizona, once believed that his trip to Delaware last week would be the last time he truly felt like a man. But just 7 days later, he reignited his masculine energy without needing a single prescription pill. I'm Dr. Authority, a urologist with over 15 years of experience treating thousands of older patients across the United States. There's one story I'll never forget. John, a U.S. Army veteran who served more than 20 years, came to see me at my clinic in Arizona for a delicate issue. Dr. Authority, I don't feel like a man anymore. He confided that every morning when he woke up, instead of feeling alert, he felt drained, emotionally flat, and more than anything, his ability to get an erection, just wasn't responding like it used to. John isn't the only one. I've met so many older gentlemen like him in Florida, Texas, New York, who feel they're losing their edge, their self-confidence, and think this is simply the cost of aging. But is that really true? Today, I'm going to reveal to you a simple, low-cost secret, the right way to drink water by American standards, using the fluid ounce and gallon system that can improve blood circulation, restore erectile function, and most importantly, reactivate your primal masculine drive even after the age of 60. That's not all. I'll walk you through step by step how to divide your intake, the best times to drink, how to choose the right bottled water like Dasani, Ozarka, or Aqua Hydrate. Those familiar names you see on shelves at Walmart, CVS, and Walgreens. If you're drinking 8 cups, 64 fluid ounces, of water a day and still feeling tired with no improvement, then what comes next is exactly what you need. Picture a Sunday morning in Minneapolis, about 55 degrees Fahrenheit, a little brisk. Mr. Bob, 72, sits on his porch, newspaper in hand, the Minneapolis Star-Tribune, looking out over his garden. He used to be strong, worked hard in the yard, confident with his wife Mary. But in recent months, he's been fatigued, sleepless, and intimacy no longer burns with the same fire. Then Bob attended a free consultation session hosted by a urology specialist at the Mayo Clinic. I, Dr. Authority, stood there and asked, "Mr. Bob, have you been drinking the right way? Most of us know that drinking water is good, but no one ever tells us how much, when, or exactly how to do it." The truth is, 80% of men over 60 in the U.S. don't realize that chugging 64 fluid ounces of water all at once in the morning and at night is a circulation disaster. Your blood needs to be supplied gradually and steadily to all your organs, including down there. When your kidneys and heart are overworked, the body compensates by reducing muscle tone and androgen hormones, making the feeling of masculinity fade with time. But don't worry, the solution lies right in your daily routine, and that's the biggest difference between being average and being truly vital. All you need to do is follow this plan. Start every morning with 12 fluid ounces of warm water, right when you wake up before breakfast. Sip slowly, 2 to 3 fluid ounces per time, every 1 to 2 hours throughout the day, aiming for a total of about 80 to 90 fluid ounces. Avoid drinking too late after 6 p.m. to give your kidneys and hormones time to reset overnight, and always go for lightly mineralized, unsweetened water, like Dasani or Ozarka. These steps I've tracked through the Heal Connect platform. Within 4 weeks, over 70% of my 60-plus patients reported clear improvements, moving from not okay to confident performance. John emailed me the other day, "Dr. Authority, I can't even put into words the happiness I felt seeing confidence in my reflection for the first time in months. I carried my grandson Luke, age 5, on my shoulders without running out of breath. And Mary, John's wife, had texted, 'He's smiling, alive like his younger self. I'm so happy, and I believe you can help others do the same.' If you're listening to this and feeling like you're no longer who you used to be, don't wait for old age to speak louder. Start again with water, the most precious resource your body has. After this opening, I'll take you through the exact steps in the next section, along with real case studies from retired gentlemen in Phoenix, Houston, and Seattle. Enough for you to feel the difference in just 7 days. Get ready. and have some warm water nearby. The journey to reclaiming yourself begins right now. Here is your American English translation, keeping the exact structure and flow without arbitrary line breaks, as you requested. I spent hours sitting with Mr. Richard, 71 years old, living in San Jose, California, a man who believed he was doing everything right. Every day he drank enough water, as recommended, around 64 to 70 fluid ounces. But then he came to see me, disappointed, his voice heavy. Dr. Authority, I still feel weak. My body is tired. I keep waking up at 2 a.m. to use the bathroom. And you know, that part of my life, I've almost given up on it. I picked up Mr. Richard's daily routine notes, and it took me just 10 seconds to spot the problem. He was drinking most of his water after 6 p.m. This is the first mistake I see most commonly among people over 60, drinking water at the wrong time. They think as long as they get enough water during the day, they're fine. But what they don't realize is that an older body no longer processes fluids like it did at 40 or 50. Everything inside slows down. The kidneys don't filter as fast as before, and the nervous system becomes more sensitive to anything that interrupts sleep. When you drink 16 to 24 fluid ounces of water after dinner, especially after 7 p.m., you unintentionally trigger nighttime urination. This not only causes sleep disruption, but also suppresses the activity of the pituitary gland, a key player in producing male sex hormones. Just 2 to 3 sleep interruptions per night for a week can reduce your testosterone by up to 20%. And as you know, when testosterone drops, it's not just your sex life that declines, but also your memory, joint health, confidence, and overall spirit. I once compared it to watering a plant in the middle of the night. Not only will the plant fail to absorb it, but the roots might rot. Your body's the same. It has a golden time window for water intake, and if you drink at the wrong time, every mechanism tied to physical vitality gets thrown off balance. So when is the best time? I break it down into 4 main windows for all my patients. 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. Right after waking up, drink 12 fluid ounces of warm water. This is when the body is most dehydrated, blood is thick, and the circulatory system needs to be woken up to deliver blood to all organs, including the genital region. 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Before lunch, drink another 8 to 12 fluid ounces. This phase helps maintain energy, stabilize blood pressure, and keep body temperature steady. Is 2, just 0:40 p.m. The perfect time to hydrate your kidneys without affecting your night's sleep. About 12 to 16 fluid ounces is ideal. Before 6 p.m., you can have an additional 8 to 12 fluid ounces if needed, but absolutely avoid drinking more after this point unless you're extremely thirsty. Mr. Richard followed this schedule precisely for 2 weeks, and at his follow-up appointment, he told me something that warmed my heart. For the first time in years, I slept straight through till 6 a.m. I woke up and my little guy responded like I was 50 again. I smiled. I knew. It wasn't magic. It was that he had finally learned to understand his own body. So if you're drinking enough water, but still feel tired, sleep-deprived, or low on vitality, maybe the issue isn't how much, but when. Remember, after age 60, your body doesn't need more, it needs smarter. And timing your water intake is the first key to reopening the door to the kind of health and vitality you thought had long closed behind you. Here is your American English translation, with structure and emotional flow preserved exactly as requested. I met Mr. George, 66 years old, living in a quiet retirement community in Tucson, Arizona. He's cheerful, optimistic, and used to be a state-level baseball coach back in the 1980s. But lately he's felt his memory isn't as sharp, and his energy has noticeably declined. When I asked him, "How much water do you drink each day?" he replied, "I'm not sure. Some days 1 bottle, some days 3. Just depends on how I feel, Doc." That's the second mistake I want to talk about today. Not drinking the right amount of water or drinking based on mood. It sounds harmless, but for people over 60, it's like driving a car without checking the speedometer or fuel gauge. By the time the car stops, you realize you've ignored something important. An older body doesn't store and regulate water as efficiently as a younger one. When you don't supply water consistently, the circulatory system starts saving energy. Blood thickens, the heart beats harder to pump it through, and the nervous system shuts off access to lower priority areas, including the reproductive system. Some of my patients believe that just drinking 8 cups a day, about 64 fluid ounces, is enough. But that's only an average. For older adults living in dry climates like Nevada, Arizona, or Texas, or those taking diuretics or blood pressure meds, the actual need may rise to 80 to 96 fluid ounces per day. But be careful, more isn't always better. Some patients, especially those newly focused on their health, end up chugging 24 to 32 fluid ounces of water right after a meal. That overwhelms the stomach, overworks the kidneys, and increases the risk of electrolyte dilution, leading to fatigue, dizziness, or even mild drops in blood pressure. The solution I give my patients is smart water distribution, dividing the total intake into 6 to 7 times throughout the day. And I give them an easy-to-remember formula called the 12-10-8-8-8-8-8 rule. 12 fluid ounces early morning, before breakfast, 10 fluid ounces mid-morning, 8 fluid ounces before lunch, 8 fluid ounces mid-afternoon, 8 fluid ounces, 8 fluid ounces before dinner, 8 fluid ounces after dinner, before 6:30 p.m., 8 fluid ounces if thirsty before bed, but optional. That adds up to about 70 to 74 fluid ounces, adjustable based on your body's needs, especially if you're active outdoors. And I always emphasize drink with intention, not on impulse. The more disciplined you are with water, the more clearly your body responds, from your skin to your sleep to your physical vitality. Mr. George followed this exactly for 2 weeks, and at his follow-up appointment, he walked into my office with bright eyes. "Doc, I feel like I got 5 years of youth back. I remember all the little things now. Don't even need notes. And, well, that other part, it just came back naturally." I nodded, because I knew he didn't do anything complicated. He just drank water the right way, in the right amount, consistently, like someone who truly understands his own body. If you've been drinking based on habit or mood, I hope after this, you'll take a second look. Sometimes just a simple reminder alarm for water can be the small change that leads to a big turning point in your health. And you deserve that. Whether you're 60, 70, or 80, you can still take charge of your vitality if you're willing to start again from the smallest things. Here is your American English translation, fully preserving the original structure, emotional tone, and flow without any unnecessary breaks. I once treated Mr. Larry, 69 years old, living in Tampa, Florida. He was meticulous, careful, and extremely disciplined about his health. "I drink over 80 fluid ounces of water every day, doctor. I never let myself get thirsty." But he came to see me with a concern that left him confused. "I still feel heavy, I get heartburn, and sometimes a slight tightness in my chest. I'm worried it's a sign of aging or something heart-related." I asked, what kind of water are you drinking? He replied, "Lightly carbonated water. I like the refreshing feeling, and since it says 0 calories, I figured it was fine." And right then, I knew the problem wasn't how many fluid ounces he drank. It was the type of water he was choosing. This is the third mistake I see many people, especially men over 60, often make: choosing the wrong type of water. Water is the foundation of health, but not all water is the same. After age 60, your digestive system, kidneys, liver, and even your hormonal system become more sensitive. Choosing the wrong kind of water can throw your body into imbalance without you even realizing it. I divide commonly consumed water into 4 categories, and only one of them is truly safe for older men's health. Carbonated water, including sparkling water or sugar-free soda. These contain dissolved CO2, which can cause bloating, alter stomach pH, and if consumed excessively, can interfere with mineral absorption. Some also include artificial sweeteners like aspartame, which multiple studies suggest may affect testosterone levels over long-term use. Flavored water. It may look healthy, but in reality, many contain artificial flavors, coloring, and preservatives. Older adults can react subtly, with symptoms like mild allergies, headaches, or even light diarrhea, without making the connection to their water source. Boiled tap water. In certain areas like Detroit or New Jersey, tap water quality remains questionable due to outdated filtration systems. Boiling can kill bacteria, but it doesn't remove heavy metals or residual chlorine. Over time, this puts added stress on the liver and kidneys. Certified purified water, or lightly mineralized water. This is the type I always recommend for patients over 60. Brands like Essentia, Poland Spring, Ozarka, or Aqua Hydrate are certified, contain light minerals, and maintain an ideal pH balance. If you use a home filtration system, make sure it meets NSF/ANSI standards, and that you replace the filters regularly. I guided Mr. Larry to switch to lightly mineralized, non-carbonated water, spaced evenly throughout the day, avoiding ice-cold temperatures. After 10 days, he returned and said, "Doctor, I feel so much lighter. No more bloating, and I'm sleeping deeper. And I was surprised to feel more agile in that area too." That didn't surprise me because I've seen the same results in hundreds of other patients. When you introduce the right kind of water into your body, you help your internal organs function properly, stabilize hormone production, improve blood circulation, and as a result, vitality returns. Henry's story isn't an exception. It's the result of a simple truth. Strength isn't about age, it's about choice. And today, if you've been following along with me until now, I believe you too are standing at an important crossroads. You can choose to keep living the way you have, drinking only when you're thirsty, whatever's convenient, and accepting that your sexual health, memory, vitality are quietly fading day by day, as if it's just an inevitable part of growing old. Or you can start again with something as small as water. You can choose to take just 1 minute each morning to drink 12 fluid ounces of warm water. You can set reminders on your phone to evenly space out your intake throughout the day. You can choose the best kind of water for your kidneys, your heart, your brain, and for the masculine core inside you. It might sound small, but I've seen this change entire lives and spirits of men who thought they had lost everything. They've gone back to gardening, dancing with their wives in the evenings, biking around the park, and most importantly, they no longer avoid the mirror each morning. They see themselves again, full of vitality, presence, and confidence. You know, after 60, everything you do could be a first time in years. The first time you sleep through the night. The first time you wake up early without an alarm. The first time you feel that natural response from your body. No pills, no forcing. And because of that, you don't have to wait for a serious sign to change. Don't wait until your body screams through pain, sleepless nights, or moments of self-doubt with your partner. You deserve a different life, a new chapter, where you don't just get through each day, but truly live it. I won't promise that water is magic. I'm not saying just changing how you drink water will fix everything. But I know for certain, water is the beginning. It's the foundation for every other shift, from sleep to digestion, memory to hormones, vitality to your overall spirit. If you've already followed the 7-day strategy I shared, then I congratulate you. You've just opened a door. Don't stop there. Maintain it as a living ritual. Turn water, the thing you drink every day, into a personal promise. I will live fully. I will stay strong. I will not give in. And if you haven't started, then give me 7 days. Just 7 days. As a doctor, I used to be skeptical of simple things. But after over 20 years of practice, I've come to realize it's the simple things, done right, done consistently, that create the most powerful transformations. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to return to the strongest version of yourself, the one untouched by age, illness, or fatigue. I'm Doctor Authority, and I'll always be here, not just to treat disease, but to awaken the strength within you that you may have forgotten. If you're ready, start tomorrow with a glass of warm water, with one simple decision, and with the belief that men's health isn't something you lose with time. It's something you can reclaim, own, and strengthen every single day. Take a look at your fridge. Don't let a bottle of water that seems healthy be the very thing silently draining your strength day by day. After 60, there's not much left worth gambling, But the good news is you can still take control of the game with just one small decision, choosing the right water to drink. Here is your American English translation, fully preserving the original structure, tone, and seamless flow you requested. I've spoken with hundreds of men in their 60s to 80s across the United States, from those living in small apartments in Seattle to elderly gentlemen biking every morning along the shores of Naples, Florida. Though they differ in profession, background, and even beliefs, they all share one quiet desire: to reclaim the masculine vitality they thought had faded with age. And what surprises them most is that the journey begins with water. I'm not talking about expensive treatments or complicated prescriptions. I'm talking about a simple 7-day plan to reset your body's physiological clock through drinking water at the right time, in the right amount, and of the right kind. Think of it as a Vitality Reboot Week, which I've successfully tested on over 300 patients aged 60 and above in internal clinic trials. Day 1. Start with 12 fluid ounces of warm water immediately upon waking. No coffee, no tea, just water. Write down how you feel after 30 minutes. Throughout the day, divide 64 to 72 fluid ounces into at least 6 separate drinking sessions. Avoid drinking after 6:30 p.m. Day 2. Keep the same amount and timing as day 1. Begin incorporating high-quality water, like Poland Spring or Ozarka. Completely avoid carbonated and flavored waters. Record your sleep from the night before. Did you wake up in the middle of the night? Did you feel alert or groggy upon waking? Day 3. Add 5 to 10 minutes of light walking in the morning after your first glass of water. No need to rush. Just be consistent. The goal is to help water activate your circulation early. Begin noticing signs of morning male response. Even if subtle, don't ignore it. Day 4. Increase your intake to around 80 fluid ounces if you live in dry, hot areas like Arizona or Nevada. Still avoid drinking after 6:30 p.m. If you slept well the night before, you'll start to feel a chain reaction effect. Less fatigue, sharper memory, and a quiet resurgence of physical vitality. Day 5. Pick one morning to try a cup of warm water with a few slices of fresh ginger. No sugar, no honey. Ginger helps stimulate circulation and supports digestion. Take notes after 2 hours. You'll be surprised. Day 6. Check your energy by doing something you usually avoid, like cleaning the garage, grocery shopping with your wife, or climbing 2 flights of stairs. Compared to a week ago, you'll feel the difference. Your body is beginning to run more smoothly. Day 7. Reflect on the entire 6-day process, from sleep quality, memory, emotions, to physical response. Most of my patients are amazed by how much change can come from something so simple: drinking water the right way. The results aren't magic. They're simply your body's natural response when you treat it properly. After just 7 days, many men who once believed their best days were behind them began living with renewed strength, confidence, and happiness. If you haven't started yet, today is your day 1. And if you've already begun, then congratulations. You're on the same path hundreds of others have walked and found their way back to themselves. Here is your full American English translation, preserving the original structure, emotion, and rhythm exactly as requested. I still remember a quiet weekend afternoon in Denver, Colorado. The air was crisp, snow gently falling outside the porch. Mr. Henry, 74 years old, walked into my clinic with a look of confidence in his eyes. He didn't have to say much. I could tell just by the way he sat, the way he smiled, that he was back. Back to the strongest version of himself. And when I asked, "What's your secret, Henry?" he answered without hesitation, "Just drinking water the right way, Doc. But now I understand. It's not just water. It's how I started reclaiming control of my life."